Looks like the warmer weather's sticking around. At this rate, I'll have to start wearing the spring jacket instead of the winter one, huh? And what I read today, I guess this was kind of interesting. You heard that news in recent times where the US were flying drones, I guess, around the US and Mexico border in order to keep track of things like drug cartel. Well, how about this one? This one says, secret US drones led to arrest of notorious Mexican cartel boss El Chapo. A secret US drone operation led to the arrest of multiple individuals associated with drug cartels, including Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. The unarmed drones spied on cartels and were operated by the Department of Homeland Security and the Cartel Central Intelligence Agency at the Mexican military's request. U.S. drone intelligence aided in the arrest of Guzman in 2014 and 2016, the Wall Street Journal reported. The drones also helped locate his son, Ovidio Guzman, in 2023. So I guess that would imply it's working in terms of having that stuff flying around, I guess. It says, Joaquin Guzman, 67, is a former leader of the Sinaloa Cartel. He was convicted in February 2019 on multiple charges, including engaging in a criminal enterprise and distribution of cocaine. He was sentenced to life in prison. President Donald Trump has designated several Mexican drug gangs, including the Sinaloa and Jalisco cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations and suggested bombing fentanyl labs in Mexico. He has said he will impose 25% tariffs on Mexico unless it stops fentanyl trafficking and migrant smuggling. How does that actually work in terms of them potentially wanting to bomb a place in Mexico? Do they need to get permission first, for example, from the Mexican authorities to say, okay, yeah, we permit you to take this out? I would think they would have to tell them to take care of it, but I guess if the accusation is there's corruption, then they will never get done, I guess, huh? It says the drone program in Mexico has been in operation for more than 2 decades, according to the Wall Street Journal's report. The drones were used to capture surveillance video of cartel activity and labs, which was fed back to officials in the United States and Mexico. And it says specifically here, many of the drones were MQ-9 Reapers, which are used in counter-terrorism operations around the world. So not just your ordinary average drone that people would use for recreation or let's just say commercial purposes. Last week, the operation aided in the arrest of a security chief working for a son of Guzman. Mexican Defense Minister General Ricardo Travilla told the outlet. The drone program began tracking Guzman's whereabouts shortly after he escaped from prison in 2001. Yeah, again, that would imply it's working, and I would imagine they will keep doing it, correct? Although with that in mind, in terms of drone hardware, how about this one where there was a new announcement by DJI? I don't know if this is related to that one about the car that I talked about yesterday, but apparently they announced a new product called the Dock 3. It's a 3rd generation drone-in-a-box solution meant for 24/7 remote operations, and this is DJI's first system to support vehicle-mounted deployments, allowing the drone to essentially launch from moving vehicles like trucks or even stationary high-rise locations. It does say it's paired actually with the Matrice 4D and 4DT drone, and it targets applications such as public safety, emergency response, and infrastructure inspection. So obviously meant more for work purposes, and it says the Dock 3 apparently boasts an enhanced durability with an IP56 rating for dust and water resistance, and it operates in extreme temperatures, so minus 30 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius, and it has a communication range of about 10 kilometers to about 25 with relays. And what's the price of this thing? Yeah, it's out of reach for the average person. $21,000, I guess, for a bundle which has the drone, and it's aimed obviously for enterprise users. And this was going around everywhere today. Apparently there was a meeting between the president of the US and Ukraine where they wanted to hold discussions to potentially, I suppose, end the war with Russia and Ukraine, but it ended up into a shouting match of sort anyways from all the videos and stuff that was being posted online. It seemed like it related to a scenario where I guess people in the US felt that Ukraine was very ungrateful in terms of the stuff that they've received, for example. And yeah, it got really heated. You can hear it here in terms of, I guess, some of the bits.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. But right now, you don't. Yeah, you're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
So apparently the meeting was originally intended to finalize a deal granting the US access to Ukraine's rare earth minerals, and a discussion obviously to create peace between them and Russia, but it escalated, as you saw, into like a shouting match of sort, where it seemed like the US president was telling the Ukrainian president that he's gambling with World War III, and then they're being criticized that they're not doing enough. And it seems like anyways, the Ukrainian president rejected any compromise, I guess saying Russia and Putin can't be trusted. So eventually it ended, and it says specifically in some of the reports he was made like a meal and so forth, but I guess he just left without eating, and people were kind of reporting this as they kicked him out. I don't think that was the case overall. I think that was just a way of saying it didn't end very well. So I don't know, it doesn't seem like the war's ending anytime soon, in this case. To me, actually, that looked like a typical, I guess, business boardroom meeting of a sort, where one person, I guess you could say the US, kind of feels or knows they have a lot of power and sway because they're the ones offering, let's just say, Ukraine a lot of money and all that, so they're taking like a hard stance. That's what it seems like to me anyways. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens after. Alright, see you guys later.